Let's roll. It's going to be time for some extreme music from the 1990s. And I'm not talking about bands who are going to burn down churches or any of that sort of crap. It's from the band called Extreme, and it's their music from the 90s. So what we're looking at is from 1995. The old boys from Boston pumped out another album. Let's go back a few steps to establish some context. Extreme came out of like the late 80s rock boom with some real ripper albums, like their self-titled album. You can see that's them there. They look pretty cool. Then they had a big smash hit record, which was Pornography. Well, specifically, they had two big smash hit singles from that album, More Than Words and Wholehearted, and they were kind of your ballady, Jolly Japes sort of songs. Yeah, really cool. But the rest of the album, and of course their entire debut album, is just guitar shred fest central. Like, they just tear it up hard as. So perhaps the songs of theirs that were big hits weren't representative as a whole of their sort of sound. But yeah, we'll go back in time and tackle that one day. Like, of course, as I said, they had their debut. They had Pornography. I don't have that anymore. I went to a party one night and took that along, and someone who was super obsessed with that More Than Words song actually stole my copy of it, so I don't have it anymore. But I do have their follow-up, which is 3 sides to every story. That's gonna be a 5-part review. That album is dense. Like, if you've heard it, you'd know it is just, there's a lot going on in that. So we're in the confusing times of the early 90s or mid 90s, wherever we're at. Where were Extreme gonna go? And you know what they said? Hell yeah, let's just rock the hell out of it. And that brings us to Waiting for the Punchline, which is what we're talking about today. Bang! You can see the old cover there. There's like a clown. It looks like his circus tent's been torn down and stuff. And then you take the CD out of the case, that's him. And you can see old mate Clown, he's not having much fun there either, so he's having a bad day. But let's not dwell on that. Let's go and check out the songs. So straight up, we got There Is No God, which kicks it off in a funky jam sort of way, packed with riffs, like really good. I've got to say straight off the bat, this album sounds fantastic. The guitars, the drums, the bass, Gary's vocals, Nuno's backup vocals, everything sounds amazing. Like, this is it's a real ripper. Like, everything sounds great. So you certainly can't go wrong if you're looking for a fine sounding album. So we got There Is No God, and like I said, starts off with like a nice little riff with some delay, and then just builds up into a nice funky jam. So check it out. We got Cynical next. Like, I'll have to throw down the old guitar, which is in the old corner there. I'll have to throw that down and do a guitar tutorial on this, because it is super fun, and like the riffs sound great. Again, the band is on fire, and it's a real hard rock and slammer. We've got Tell Them Something I Don't Know as the next track, and it's a real ambient one. Lots of delay, lots of reverb, and yeah, some really cool sounds on the song. And again, you can't go wrong listening to it. We have the big hit off the album as the next track, which is Hip Today. And yeah, this one's a thumper. Like, they changed time signatures, I think about 4 or 5 times throughout the song, and it just bangs. It's a real ripper. Like, there's a lot of really cool stuff going on. Like, the riffs are just so cool and out there. Yeah, you'll know it when you hear it. And then they get to these solo bits, and it goes to like I think a 7/8 time, and then just a ton of face melting shred, which is, hey, who was doing that back in the 90s? Probably not a lot of folk, but hey man, Extreme, throw it down. After that, we got a song called Naked, which is like a real blues jam, which it's a slow builder. It's yeah, it just smolders and then just explodes when they kick on the jams on this one. And again, you've got a huge sounding solo, and yeah, it comes out of nowhere. The band sound great, and yeah, again, you can't go wrong when Nuno throws down on guitar. We got Midnight Express as the next track, and this is quite a famous song. Like, yeah, it's like a instrumental, and it just comes out of nowhere. And if you haven't heard it before, go do yourself a favor and check it out, because Midnight Express is fantastic. Like, I've seen Nuno play this live a couple of times, and it's absolutely magic. Like, yeah, just listen to it. It's a ripper. Next up, we got Leave Me Alone, No Respect, and Evil Angelus as the next 3 tracks. Again, like, let's throw down Leave Me Alone, another real ambient track. Like, they just sort of take it pretty slow and just throw out some really cool notes, and yeah, like a slow builder, and you can't go wrong with that. No Respect is an absolute thrasher, and yeah, if anyone can give me some tips on how to play that on guitar, throw down a message in the comments. It's really cool, and the band just go for gold on it. Like, I've never heard, like, yeah, it's really good. Evil Angelus says this is another top track, like a real groovy riff, but they're not just playing like you'd expect. Oh, yeah, heavy bands play riffs on like the low strings, like the E and or they tune down and stuff. This time, like, they use, like, Nuno's riffs use the G, and yeah, they just, it's a really complex arrangement, and it sounds fantastic. As if that's not enough, there's Shadow Boxing as the next song, and that is like, it's like a real bluesy sounding song, and it's great. And then out of nowhere, there's this riff about like the whole song, like this, like I could do a whole video about this song actually. But it's such a great track. The riff is just gold, but about halfway through it, they throw down like with a bit of a real funky riff, and then just melt your face off with this huge solo, which is great. And like Nuno doesn't use many effects, or he uses them very sparingly. On this one, he just like maybe he switches to the neck pickup and tears your face off, and that's about it. So really cool stuff. After that, it brings us to Unconditionally, which is a love ballad. If you can handle the switch from acoustic guitar to electric guitar, which is very obvious, 30 or 40 seconds into the song, it's no big deal. This one's a cracker, and again, like the band sounds fantastic, and they just bring in like the vocal on this is amazing, and yeah, they throw down with a nice old heavy bit as the song goes on, and the solo is absolute fire. Like folks 3 streets away are just going to be going, holy what was that? It's a real ripper. Now this is where things get strange, because I've got 2 waiting for the punchlines. One of them does not have track 12 on it, and the other does. So let's talk track 12. Or actually, let's talk track X, we'll call it. Because on the original one I bought, after Unconditionally, there's like the silence, and then they have the hidden track, which is actually the title track of the album, Waiting for the Punchline. Damn, this is such a slam and incredible. Like they really throw down on this. Like it's got some of the heaviest riffs you would have heard from this band on it. It's really good. And it comes out of nowhere. You're just like, oh yeah, cool. Unconditionally was good. Nice album. And then this comes out of nowhere, and it just builds and builds and builds, and just smacks you down with just this hard ass riff. And it's like, I would have thought, they could have at least put it on the track listing and stuff. But yeah, that's not mind the reason why, but yeah, the actual title track, Waiting for the Punchline, from the album Waiting for the Punchline, get it on. It's great. Amazing music. Then I bought this second Waiting for the Punchline, so I probably said Waiting for the Punchline quite a lot. It contains a track 12, which leads into the title track, which is called Fair Weather Faith. And this is just funky ass. It's like, where'd that come from? And they just jam out, and there's some great riffs in there. Like, when I get some time, I'll throw down the old guitar tutorial on all this, because like some of this stuff is like if you're a player, you'll love it. It's really cool. Like, yeah, if you like playing guitar and having fun and kicking ass, get yourself some Waiting for the Punchline by Extreme. Yeah, it's a good time to be had for all. And like and subscribe, and we'll catch up in the next video, friends.